YouTube family, what is good, man? Thank you for clicking on this video because today we have a heater for you guys, right? We are going to be doing a high taper into some curls. And to get into the side taper, I have my number 4 guard and I'm just going ahead and debulking, clearing some space so that way when we get into our taper, it's a nice clean canvas to work with and it's easier to stay nice and organized, right? And now right under that 4 guard, I have my 2 guard all the way open and I'm just going a little bit lower, making sure that I don't go too high even though this is a high taper. And now to get into the taper, we're going to set our bald line from the top of the arch to where the ear connects to the head, and that's where we're going to create our bald line. And I'm going to do it with my clipper, right? And I usually do it with my trimmer flipped upside down and then I press it in. But what this is going to help do is allow us to get rid of that first line a lot easier, right? And now right under that, I'm going to go in with my trimmer and I'm going to go ahead and bald the rest of it out, getting it a little bit closer to the skin. And then we're going to use the shaver to get it even closer to the skin so the haircut could last a lot longer and it really makes that taper pop, right? And now to get into our taper, we're going to go with our clipper all the way open. And right here, I'm going to go up about a ½ inch. And I'm just keeping that same shape that we made with our first bald line, right? And now to get rid of that line in between the bald and the clipper open, I'm going to go in closed and then I'll gradually start to open my lever as I just showed you. So I'm going in closed here, tapping that line slightly. And then as I move up, you'll see me start to open that lever until that line is completely blended out. And now we're going to go above that with our 1 guard all the way open, and we're still here. We're going to go up about a full inch. Brushing as I do so, especially since his hair is growing towards his ear, right? It doesn't just grow straight down, it's kind of over directing towards his ear. So I want to make sure that I'm cutting against the grain and brushing it in its natural position so I have a nice even cut every time. And now right under that 1 guard open, we're gonna go in with our 1 guard closed, right? And this is just gonna lighten up that line. It's not gonna get rid of it completely, but it's gonna lighten it up so it's a lot easier to get rid of with the ½ guard. And now right above that 1 guard open, I'm gonna go in with my 2 guard all the way open. And right here, I'm not really creating a line. I'm trying to blend into the top as best as possible, flicking out. And now to get rid of that line that was between the open and the 1 guard, we're gonna go with our ½ guard open, and then we'll gradually go ahead and start to close that lever until that line is as blended out as possible. Brushing as I do so, you can really see the hair trying to grow, towards the ear like I had said. So I'm being conscious of that, using the corner of the blade and cutting against the grain. And to blend into the length on top a little bit nicer, I'm going to do clipper over comb, and I'm just kind of going in with the comb, flaring out slightly, and any hair sticking out of the comb I'm going to go ahead and get rid of. And this is trying to just blend into the top a little bit better. And now to soften up this blend, we're going to go ahead and use our thinning shears. And we're going to do the same exact thing, going in with the comb and flaring out slightly. And then any hair sticking out of the comb, I'm going to go ahead and cut with my thinning shear. And that's going to get that taper just looking a lot softer. And now to get into the taper on the other side, we are going to be doing these same exact steps, right? So I have my 4 guard, I'm going ahead here and just debulking. And then I'm going to go right under that with my 2 guard open, doing the same exact thing, just getting a little bit lower. And this is going to give us a nice clean canvas to work with. And now we're going to start at the top of the arch, and we're going to create our bald line from there to where the ear meets the head. And then we're going to follow it up with the trimmer and then the shaver, and that's going to just get us a lot closer to the skin, right? And since we're doing the same exact steps on this side of the head, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys just watch and kind of put the pieces to the puzzle together yourself, right? And Down in the comment section, give me some haircuts and things that you want to learn, so that way I can provide videos that add value to you, right? So let me know if there's a specific thing during the haircut that you struggle with, if there's a specific style of haircut that you struggle with. Let me know down in the comments, and I'm going to try my best to get a video out to kind of help you guys and guide you through the learning process, right? And now we're in that one guard step, going in with our one guard all the way open. And then I went ahead and closed that lever. And this side I'm doing a lot faster just because I explained the other side, right? So I went ahead and did this side a little bit quicker. And this taper usually takes me around, I would say 5 to 8 minutes to complete on each side of the head. I'm not the fastest person at cutting hair, right? Because I want to make sure that I'm still providing quality. Because I feel like, man, when I try to cut fast, my haircuts definitely aren't at the same level. So I try to just take my time to the best that I can, right? Because me personally, I book out hour appointments just so I have a complete hour to spend with my client, making sure that they get the best possible haircut that fits them and that they feel confident in the way that they look. And so I would love to cut in 30 minutes, but me personally, every time I try to do that, my haircuts just don't, or I don't feel they aren't up to par, right? And now to soften up that taper once again, I'm going to go in with my thinning shears. Just kind of getting that taper looking a lot smoother. And right here, I'm using the corner of my blade to detail that taper and get into those dark areas that I wasn't able to blend out at first. And I have my 1.5 here, just tapering the front hairline just so when I go in to line it up, it's a lot sharper. And right here, I'm showing you his widow's peak and where his cowlick is at, and I'm making sure that when I'm tapering it, I don't cut into that cowlick so I don't like leave a bald spot, right? And now for the neck taper, I'm gonna do the same exact steps. I'm going in with my clipper closed, and I'm creating my first bald line, and then right under it, I'm gonna grab my trimmer and get it closer to the skin. And then I'm gonna follow it up with the shaver. And now for the neck area, I make my guidelines a little bit thicker just because in the back of the head we have a lot more canvas to work with. So I'm going up about a full inch here with my clipper open. And then right above that clipper open, I'm going in with my one guard open about a full inch once again. And then I went ahead and closed it. And you want to make sure that you're continually brushing and combing the hair so it's laying in its natural position, right? So you're getting the most even and smooth blend as possible. So that was the 3 guard, and I kind of created shape there. I kind of flicked out so that way it has more of a wedge shape. And then right under that 3 guard, I'm going to have my 2 guard all the way open. And then I'm going to go ahead and close it. And we're kind of blending down here, right? So I set all my lines and then I'm blending them out by going down. And right here I have my 1.5, and then I went ahead and closed it as needed. And you can see as we move down in our taper process, it starts to come together real slowly. And now to get rid of that last line, I'm going to go in with my half guard open, and then I'll gradually start to close that lever as needed. And you'll see me really put in some detail in the back of the taper just because the way his hair is growing is kind of everywhere in his nape area. So I'm trying to, turn the clipper sideways, go against the grain to get into those dark areas. And now we're going to use our one guard open, and we're just going to attack some of those dark spots that we couldn't get out the first time. And now to blend into that length a little bit better once again, I'm doing clipper over comb, and any hair sticking out of the comb, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of. Alright, so for the back of the ear, since it's a lot darker, I'm going to go ahead and taper it down with the 1.5 with the grain. Similar idea to what I did with the front hairline. And now when lining up the nape area, I always like to start at the top of the ear to prevent me from going up too high in that area, right? And then I'm going to work my way down, and that's how I'm going to get that nice round shape. And you can see when we put the line on this taper, you can really see it start to come together, and you can see all the flaws and minor details that you might need to go touch up. And now for the front hairline, You can see his widow's peak is actually very big and he likes to cut it off. So that's why I did right here. So I'm starting in the middle of his forehead, and then I'm gonna work to either the left or right side, whatever you choose first. And in this case, I'm going to my right, his left. And I'm going ahead and I'm trying to keep it as natural looking as possible while getting it as sharp and as crispy as possible, right? So he has a lot of hangover baby hairs, and that's what we're cutting off here. And you can see when we put the line up on there, that taper really starts to come together. And then I moved to the other side and did the same thing. And now we are going to use some enhancement on this cut just to go ahead and get it to another level. So we're going to use our Sean Cuts Hair enhancement card. And I'm using my airbrush with Kiss Express and alcohol mix. And then I'm going to follow it up with the hair fibers just to give it a more dry and natural look. And then I'm going to go ahead and reline it. And you can already see it takes the line up to a whole nother level. It makes it look a lot fuller. And then after you spray some hairspray to lock in those hair fibers, you're going to want to go ahead and use the razor to get rid of all those hairs that the trimmer couldn't get. Especially with his widow's peak, you don't want that hair to grow back too quick. So stretch the skin and just go ahead and detail where you lined it up with the clipper. And I always like to do the back of the ear too, just because I feel like it takes that line to another level as well, and it gets rid of all those hairs that would grow back very quickly behind the ear. So as you can see, my man came in looking pretty scruffy, but it's okay because we went ahead and put him in the game with the taper into the curls. Family, thank you for watching this video. I pray that this added value to you in some way, shape, or form. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, drop a comment, and follow me at JClipperHands on IG. But love, family. Catch y'all next time.